Hello, friends. Today we will see a topic related with the wild animal breeding, and it is equally effective to the conservation of any population, either it is of animal or of a plant, either of a breed or a particular wild animal. So, the topic is effective population size and its concept in wild animal breeding. So, coming to the introduction, it was first conceptualized by the civil right. Civil right, you have already heard the name Civil Wright. He is a famous statistician and a breeder. He conceptualized the term effective population size. You know that population size is extremely important when we are evaluating conservation priorities for a breed or a species. That means, but suppose we want to decide the priorities of a conservation. So, the population size is very important. In a small closed population, all the individual eventually become related by descent. That means we have already learned about the inbreeding. So, what a small population they will breed among themselves, and all the genes in the subsequent generation will be identical by descent. That is by that they will follow inbreeding. So, how quickly they become related, it will depend on the effective population size. So, that is why this effective population size is very important. Okay, it determines how a population they will become related among themselves. Then, Hardy-Weinberg law we have already studied. It holds true only when population size is infinitely large. So it will not be true for a small population. So that is why the finite population size result in inbreeding. That means कि a population which is finite population size will result in inbreeding. So what we have to see कि finite population size will result in inbreeding and there will be loss of genetic variation. So there will be loss of genetic variation. So what we have to see कि we have to maintain the population in such a amount कि it will not lose the genetic variation. A population bottleneck is a sharp reduction in the size of population due to human intervention. We know that what is the meaning of population bottleneck is that the problem in survival of a population. Why population will not survive? Because there will be sharp reduction in the size of population, and that reduction mostly in wild animal it will be due to human intervention or the intervention of environment. We know because we have seen how wildlife is depleted. The population of wildlife is declining. So, by understanding the effective population size, again, you see effective population size, we can predict how quickly a population of animal will lose genetic variation and come at brink of extinction. So, that is why this effective population is very important. It determines how quickly an animal will lose or a population will lose its genetic variation and it will come at the brink of extinction. Then next is inbreeding is the most common phenomena in domestic as well as wild animals. Because small size, it has resulted in deleterious effect and loss of fitness of a population due to recombination between undesirable genes, that is recessive lethal. So we have already studied in inbreeding that inbreeding will lead to the loss of genetic variation because the population size is small and it will produce a new combination particularly of recessive lethals. So the population will become susceptible to certain disease, or it will be susceptible to the fitness, that the population will not be fit as it was earlier. Then the effective population size is the size of an ideal population. So what is effective population size? It is the size of an ideal population which follow Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. So ideal population is what? Which follow Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, that would lose heterozygosity, at rate equal to that of observed population. So here you have to note 2 points: the observed population and effective population. So suppose in a jungle or in a forest you are having a population of 100 animals, 100 tiger or 100 deer. So all the animals in that population will not be of same age, all the population will not be reproducing, all the animals of that population will not be reproducing randomly, so and they will be of different generation. So this but in we know that in ideal population the population will mate randomly, they will have all the animals will be of equal generation, equal age, same breed, so or same type of animal. So if such conditions are not met, that population is known as observed population. So there is difference between observed population and ideal population. So whatever law we have studied, that is applicable for ideal population, not for effective population. So effective population, what is effective population size? It is a size of an ideal population. So among the observed population, it will be effective population size will be a size of an ideal population that would lose heterozygosity at a rate equal to that of observed population. So number of individuals in observed population that will lose heterozygosity as that of the observed population, that is called as effective population size. In another way, it can be read that effective population size is number of individuals that would give rise to the calculated sampling variance. So calculated sampling variance means inbreeding. So the effective population size is the number of individuals that will give rise to the calculated sampling variance or rate of inbreeding if they bred in manner of idealized population. So in observed population, you have to find the number of animals that would give the calculated rate of inbreeding if they will mate in a manner of idealized population. So you have to suppose कि out of this observed population, how many animals will be mated or bred in a manner of idealized population. That will give you the effective population size. So effective population size is almost all the time is smaller than the real or census population size. So this is also true because I have already told you that effective population size means all the members of a population will not be of same age or same generation, and it will all the animals will not be producing. So effective population size means all the real population effective population size means all the animals will be of ideal in nature, means same age, same generation, and it will be mating among themselves. So next is what are the method for estimation of effective population size. So estimating the appropriate effective population size is crucial in conservation biology. So whenever you want to conserve a particular animal or a particular breed or a particular plant or anything, you have to have calculate the effective population size. If effective population size is not sufficient, you will not be able to conserve those animals. So a conservative rule of thumb, so there is one rule of thumb also used by some biologists, is that effective population size is equal to 1/5 of the total population size. So whatever actual population you are having, out of that 1/5, that means 20% of the population, you can tell that it is a effective population size. That means you have to have at least 20% of that population if you want to conserve a particular population. Then formula. So I have already told you that effective population size can be calculated in many ways. Suppose this may be for the age, for the generation. So you will be calculating the ideal population of single generation, or it may be of sex, because ideal population we know the in ideal population sex ratio will be 1:1, but in actual you will not get 1:1. There will be slight variation. So in that context, in the context of sex ratio, effective population size can be given by this formula. This formula is very much in vogue. So effective population size is equal to 4 into number of male into number of female divided by number of male plus number of female. So this is the formula for calculation of effective population size when there is deviation from the normal sex ratio, that is 1:1. If a population is deviating from 1:1 sex ratio, then you have to use this formula for calculation of effective population size. Then there is one more method given by Franklin, which is also known as 50/500 method. 50/500 method. So Franklin in 1980 he suggested that if effective population size is more than 50, it will lead to short-term survival of a population. That means it will be able to avoid the inbreeding. So this he gave the 50/500. So this was the meaning of 50. If effective population size is more than 500, it is needed for long-term survival. So more than 500 is needed for long-term survival. That means कि if effective population size is more than 500, the population will survive for long time. A genetically effective population size of at least 50 individual is necessary for conservation of genetic diversity. So if someone is asking how many number of animals are required for maintenance of or conservation of genetic diversity, then it is 50 in short term, and in long term you need a effective population size of 500 is needed to avoid serious genetic drift in long term. So in long term you have to conserve 500 animal. That means effective population size should be a minimum 500. Then just see this picture. In this photograph you can see there is a lower effective population size. So what will happen if you are having a lower population size? So in case of if you are having lower population size, there will be more wide demographic variation in the population. There is a small population, so population will be divided into different distinct genotype. There will be demographic variation. Then this population will be subdivided by fragmentation. Some animals will be specific for some character, another animal will be specific for another character. So there will be fragmentation of the population. There will be more inbreeding depression because the more there will be genes will be identical by descent. Then there will be more genetic drift. In long term there will be more genetic drift. There will be less ability to adapt. So animal there will be less variation, less heterogeneity. So animal will be less adaptable to the particular environment, and under such condition that animal is going to extinct. And this why this there is low effective population size, because of it may be due to the environmental variation, certain catastrophic event, or global climate change. That is nowadays it is more in discussion. There may be also habitat destruction, environmental degradation, habitat fragmentation, overharvesting. Overharvesting means we are overutilizing a particular animal. Then effect of invasive species. A particular there is a arrival of predator of a particular animal. So under such condition, the animal will be having lower effective population size, and animal may go under extinction. So this was the concept of effective population size, which is very essential for to consider to be considered in wild animal breeding, as well as even it is effective for the conservation of domestic animal breeds. So many of the breeds like Vechur cattle in Kerala, or for that sake any other breed, you need to know the concept of effective population size. But this is mostly used in wild animal breeding. So I hope the concept of effective population size is clear to you. Thank you.